All right, friends, we're going to make a vase of flowers just in time for spring that's coming up. And we're going to start by designing our vase. We're going to use collage techniques. Collage is a fancy way to say cutting, tearing, and then gluing. So our papers are already cut. If you wanted to cut your rectangles and squares into smaller shapes, you could. Now these are all rectangles. They have 4 sides, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 are longer and 2 are shorter. You're going to have different colors. I only have one color right now, so my piece looks not quite as exciting as yours will. But I'm gonna just fit on as many of these as I can to make my piece bright and colorful. Next time I see you, we're going to put these vases onto a larger piece of paper, and we're gonna be drawing flowers above the vase. The vase will go below, and the flowers will go above. So now my vase is just about finished. I've put a dot of glue on the back of each of these little squares. If I'm afraid things are gonna pop up, I can flip my paper over to the back, give it a little back rub, and now it's ready to dry. All right, now it is time to glue my vase to my larger white paper. That's my background. I'm gonna flip my vase to the back and I'm gonna trace around the outside with glue. So this is also a rectangle. I glued rectangles on top, but my vase itself is a rectangle as well. I'm gonna stick it down. I wanna kind of try to center it so the space on each side is about the same. And then I'm gonna grab a black marker. These markers are called Sharpie markers, and that means they're permanent. So I'm really focusing on keeping these just on my paper, not on the table, not on my hands, not on my clothes. I'm gonna make a stem. A stem is the green part that attaches the flower to the ground, or in this case, the flower to the vase. Then I'm gonna make a circle for the center of my flower. And now I'm gonna make several kind of skinny rainbow shapes. These are turning into the petals on my flower. And I think I can squeeze one more on there. I can make leaves. To make a leaf, I make a rainbow shape, and then I make another rainbow shape, and then I'm gonna put a line down the middle. So that's one type of flower you can make. It's kind of like a daisy. Another kind is called a tulip. To make a tulip, I'm gonna make a U, and then I'm gonna go zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. And now I'm gonna make a line that goes to my vase. I wanna make a wavy line in this case. I think it would look cooler. Maybe a leaf, and another leaf. Another kind of shape I can make is kind of like a daisy, but more like a carnation, really. I'm making a circle, and then I'm gonna make almost like a cloud shape around it, like that. And then I'm gonna make a line that goes back to my vase. Now, it wouldn't make sense if I had my stems going off there. Then they would be floating in outer space. And I want mine to be from the vase. And I wanna squeeze on as many as I can, and I can repeat. So maybe I'll make another tulip here. Zigzag, zigzag. Add a few leaves. I think I'm gonna make another one of those daisies right there. And you can even have them hanging over the side, and I'll show you how. I can make a flower over here. I'll make a daisy. And then, instead of making my stem go in the vase here, because this part of the vase doesn't have an opening. The opening is only on the top. I'm gonna go from my flower and make a line that goes in the top. So not the side, just the top. And then I'll make a couple leaves. Maybe one more hanging over this side. I'll do that carnation flower, the one with the cloud. And again, it doesn't make sense to have it go in the side because that doesn't have an opening. The opening is only on the top. All right, now my flowers are drawn. Maybe I'll make a cute little bumblebee flying around there just for fun, why not? Or you could make a little butterfly, something like that. And the next part of the lesson, we're gonna use tissue paper to add color. All right, now I'm gonna use this tissue paper to add color. I'm gonna start by taking a paintbrush and I'm gonna put just a little bit of water on my flower. Then I'm gonna take a piece of tissue paper and put it on top and add a little bit of water. Now I'm just gonna let it dry like that. So I'm gonna do here, a little bit of water, tissue paper, a little bit of water. This kind of tissue paper is called bleeding tissue paper, and it sounds like it's a very scary kind of tissue paper, but it's not. All that means is that the color from the tissue paper is going to come off and go onto my paper. So it's like it's transferring. It's okay if your tissue papers overlap a little bit. That's gonna happen right here on mine. It's okay if your color goes outside of the flower. That actually looks really pretty. So it's gonna be a really natural looking color. I'm not gonna worry about my stems or my leaves. I just wanna add some color to my flowers. So again, put it on top. It's almost like a sandwich, okay? The water is the bread, so I do bread. This is the peanut butter. And other piece of bread. So it's a pattern. Water, paper, water. Water, paper, water. Then I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna show you like a little sneak preview right now. When you lift it up, the color goes from the paper and on to this paper. So I will let this dry and show you when it's finished. Okay, you can see that these are about dry, so I'm gonna pull them off just so you can see what they look like under. And since these have sat longer, the paint spread further. So I have these really fun, pretty shapes. If you want to, you can add it to the stems and around this area as well. But what you're gonna have is a beautiful vase of flowers. We've used collage techniques and bleeding, very dramatic, tissue paper to create this cool, colorful effect on top.